My very special friends, I greet you once again. By the grace of God, together we have seen the last Tuesday in the month of September 2021. I thank God for your lives. I thank God for your families, your businesses, jobs, communities, and nations. I want to thank God that we started the year together and we're alive, and we will see the end of this year and many more years in the name of the Lord Jesus. Today, we're going to look at the topic titled, Let's Care for One Another. Let's care for one another. The situation in the whole world today requires that we care for one another. The rich, the poor, join forces. See, what can the poor contribute? The poor can contribute morality, they can contribute sacrifice, they can contribute prayer, and they can contribute love. They know how to give even with the little they have. Then the rich, release surplus monies to be able to take care of people who cannot help themselves. I want to read to us a very interesting story in the Acts of the Apostles. The apostles followed the instruction of the Lord Jesus. They did something very wonderful. In Acts chapter 4, reading from verse 32, it goes thus. And a multitude of them that believed were of one heart and of one soul. Neither said any of them that aught of the things which he possessed was his own, but they had all things common. And with great power gave the apostles witness of the resurrection of the Lord Jesus, and great grace was upon them all. Neither was there any among them that lacked. For as many as were possessors of lands or houses sold them, and brought the proceeds of the prices of the things that were sold. And they laid them down at the apostles' feet, and distribution was made unto every man according as he had need. And Joseph, who by the apostles was surnamed Barnabas, which is being interpreted the son of consolation, a Levite, and of the country of Cyprus, having land, sold it, and brought the money, and laid it at the apostles' feet. You see, many advanced countries that have what we call social security, they have a social welfare scheme. They took that from the scriptures. They took it from this passage. You see, governments of old showed love, showed care for the citizens. They took that, they borrowed it from here. And that's because every government is set up by God. They are placed in authority by God. And God placed them in authority so that they can take care of their citizens. It is what the apostle demonstrated here. What did they do? The people were rich, donated. That's why the rich, they pay bigger taxes. They pay big taxes so that there be social welfare to care for citizens. And when you care for citizens, you take off a lot of problems. Talk a lot of fiscal problems. Talk about emotional problems, matrimonial problems. You take off everything that will make society unbearable or unpalatable. That's what governments all over the world ought to do. But unfortunately, many governments in some nations, particularly the so-called third world nations, Africa and other nations, some nations of the other nations of the earth and other regions of the earth, they don't care for citizens. And even the advanced countries, now some of them are failing in their responsibility to take care of their citizens. They are failing. And that's why homes are broken. Homes are destroyed. Husbands no longer love their wives. Wives no longer submit to their husbands. Children no longer obey their parents. Parents no longer care for their children. And because of that, there is discordant tunes sung by everybody. Government, parents, children, and so on and so forth. Even ministries are departing. Many ministries are departing what the early church did here. If every ministry can imitate what the apostle did here, the society will be a very pleasant place. Every ministry that has been called, that ministers who are called of God, they practice what the apostle did here. Oh, very pleasant society. What did the believers do here? They sacrificed, they donated. It's not only tithe here. Tithe is not mentioned here, but they gave all, which means 100%. Some people who are believers find it difficult to even give 10% that God asked for. But the early church here, they gave 100%. Everything they sold, they gave. They brought it to the church so that there will be enough. Everybody's need was supplied. Those who had housing problems, they were able to, get funds to pay for houses, pay their rents. Those who could not eat, they could eat. Those who could not clothe themselves could clothe themselves. And those who could not pay fees, they were able to pay fees. Everyone had the need supplied. It's important that the governments of the world go back to this age-long practice. Revive your social, security, situations or social welfare situation. Revive it so that people will not have lack. It is people out of lack that some people go into crime. People go into depression and begin to take hard drugs and become a menace to society. Make sure people who are in need have their needs met. Then there will be no resort to crime. But when you have a lot of those who have, swim up there with all their billions, their mansions, expensive cars, and expensive jets, and all other things, and people cannot afford a single meal, or people cannot even have accommodation of their own to stay. They sleep in the streets. Then you can expect someone who have a low resistance, status to take to crime. And this so-called rich cannot have a good society to live in. So I urge all of us, friends, let us care for one another in the ways we can. For us, those of us who are ministers, let us care by praying, by interceding. If we can help out. If you are very rich, give funds, donate for welfare activities to make life bearable for others. If you are an employer, take care very well of your staff. Make sure your staff are well paid, they are cared for, pay their salaries as and when due, even their allowances, give them bonuses, let them be happy. Let's care for one another, friends. All the employees, care for your company, care for your management by giving your best. It will be a pleasant society. Ministers, care for one another. Care for your congregation. Congregation, care for your ministers. Let us love one another. Society will be a better place for us to live in. Government, discharge your responsibilities. Care for your citizens. Protect them. Don't abandon your citizens to terrorists and all other criminals. Care for your citizens. Provide good roads for them, hospitals, educational system, everything that will make your citizens to be happy, to pay their taxes, and to support you. Be alive to your responsibilities. Do what the apostles did here. Society will be pleasant. Parents, do your responsibilities to your children. Children, care for your parents too. It's vice versa. Care for your parents when you are now established. And God will bless you. My friends, this is the discussion for today. Let us care for one another. I can also say, let us love one another. Let us share what we have with one another. And God will bless us. My name is Evangelist Michael Oboh, by the grace of God, the President and Founder of Rescue Mission International, Benin City, Nigeria. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Share it, like it, tell others about us. And God will bless you. Follow me daily on WhatsApp, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. God bless you, my friends, as we celebrate the end of September. And by next week, we go into a few days time, we go into October. We will see the end of this year and many more years in the name of the Lord Jesus. God bless you as you care for one another. In the name of the Lord Jesus. Amen.